On this week's digital marketing news, the latest tips and trends in B2B marketing video, news from Snapchat and Facebook giveth and taketh away.
Welcome to the Digital Marketing News. I'm Tiffany Allen.
And with your first story this week, I am Joshua Knight. So here's a thing that is happening this week that seems bad for marketers at first, but if you think about it, is actually pretty good for marketers. So what happened is Facebook took away some of the abilities of its API for other apps to be able to post to Facebook for you. Specifically, that means that if you've been posting to Twitter and have that link to Facebook and have it automatically post your Twitters to your Facebooks, you can't do that anymore. It's just something the API doesn't allow. You can still post your tweets, I guess they call them, the kids, your tweeters to the Facebook account through the share dialog, but not through just that automatic posting. Now that seems like bad news. I would say it's good news because these are two different formats, two different channels with possibly different audiences, definitely different things that people are expecting out of them. So if you were doing this in the first place, now you can't do it anymore, and that's probably good. So Facebook staged an intervention there. Marketers, please treat your channels as the distinct and lovely entities that they are.
Absolutely. Keep in mind your audience when you're creating the message. And then, ad handles sometimes don't work on Facebook, and that makes everyone look silly. There is other Facebook news, though.
Yeah.
Yes, specifically to app marketers. So Facebook last week announced a couple of different options for app marketers specifically. One of those are playable ads. Do you know what that means?
No, I have no idea.
So users can demo within the ad. So like when you're playing your Feed the Cats game and then the Mortal Kombat thing comes up, you can play with it and you don't click through it all. Anyway, it's pretty cool. It helps users engage. It helps advertisers understand how folks are using their apps and those sorts of things. Those are now available globally in the newsfeed. And then the next thing is the minimum return on ad spend bidding will become available globally within the next few weeks. So that's basically like we can set how much money we need to make for somebody to get a return on our ad spend. So that will match folks with people who are more likely to, do the in-app payments. So pay $1, get more cat treats, have a better fake cat in your game that's not so mad at you all the time. So that's great news for folks who are looking for app engagements, looking for a great return on ad spend, and Facebook is making that kind of important move toward mobile app marketing, which we are, of course, seeing grow. If you've been on any app store, there are plenty of options, and it's just getting bigger.
Yep, so I have some cats to feed myself. If I can just have the camera to myself, I want to have some words.
That's fair. All right.
So for my next story, I wanted to talk a little bit about B2B video marketing. We just had an article on the drum that had some great tips from folks at Dailymotion and from #ClientLinkedIn. So do check out the article if you get a chance. If you're watching this on YouTube, head over to toprankblog.com. If you're watching this embedded in the blog post, it's going to be around about knee level, possibly shin height. So take a look at that, but some quick takeaways from the good folks at your LinkedIns and your Dailymotioners who know video, and they have some good tips. So first off, the LinkedIn side, native video seems to be getting more engagement from people. That makes sense. Native video is already there in the feed. It's already formatted the right way. It's going to load quicker because, of course, the channel is going to prefer that video. Its algorithm is more likely to favor it. So native video tends to give people a better experience. Also, mobile video. 9 out of 10 people, they say, that are watching video on LinkedIn are watching it on mobile. So that means that, unfortunately, you need to go vertical. And believe me, that fills me with as much rage as anyone else. But your video should look good if somebody's holding their phone straight up and down, because nobody wants to turn their phone sideways anymore. Also think about changing up your format. If all you have is, say, 1 or 2 people talking at the camera the whole time, maybe use a different couple set of setups, like have them deliver a story together and then have one person go solo and then the other person go solo and then together at the end. That keeps it dynamic, keeps it exciting. Also, keep that energy level up. They asked people what they thought was the top qualities of a video that made people want to watch, and they said energetic was number 1. Inspiring number 2, informative number 3, and humorous was number 4. So I think all of these things are important, but I think if you don't have that energy and that inspiration, that value and the information, then just being funny is not really going to cut it with a B2B audience. So those are just a few tips, and again, there are more in the article. And there's more to come on this video from Tiffany.
Thanks, Josh. In other news, Snapchat rolled out 2 new beta programs last week. One pertains to members of their Discover Partners network. It allows these Discover Partners to monetize their content through the Snap Private Marketplace, or the PMP. That's what they're calling it. It includes full benefits from the programmatic ad platform, so ad targeting options, metrics, and dynamic pricing. The other option they're rolling out in beta this week is if you remember back in April, we talked about the 6-second commercial that you can't skip that they're rolling out. They're rolling this out now, not only through their Snapchat salespeople, but through the self-serve ad platform as well. So other advertisers can sort of start jumping on that bandwagon. If they have 6-second commercials for Snapchat, now is the time to roll those out. All right, well, with our next story, back to us.
Thanks, Tiffany. Our final story for the week is a pretty huge new report from our buddies at Buffer and our very good friends at BuzzSumo, who make the tools that we know and love and use kind of on a daily basis. Just saying, BuzzSumo, pretty dope. Anyway, they have the machinery in place to do some really cool data analysis. So here they took the top 20,000 brands on Facebook, and they analyzed over 43 million posts from them, and they found out some interesting stuff. Not very uplifting stuff, but some interesting stuff. First, brands are posting a lot more. They're up over 1.5 million posts more in Q2 than they did early in Q1 of 2017. However, engagement is declining. So you would expect if they're posting more, less engagement per post, but it's worse than that. Engagement across the board is down 50%. Oof. Which is half of all the percents, you may know, if you stayed awake during math class. Right. Now, images are getting the most engagement, then videos, then links, finally at the end, but engagement is down for everything. So that's a bit of a bummer, but that doesn't mean we give up on the platform.
Yeah, and some of the learnings around engagement were around how much people are posting, how often brands are posting. So brands that post less than 1 post a day get the most engagement per post, which is interesting, but they have the lowest overall engagement of the other brands compared. Pages posting 10 or more times per day get less engagement per post and less engagement overall than those who are posting 5 per day. So it seems like 5 is kind of the sweet spot in terms of daily posting for a brand on Facebook.
There is that weird cutoff point where you get a little more engagement in every post and then just kind of plateaus out.
Right.
So what do we do with this? If we're marketers and we see that engagement is kind of dwindling on Facebook, I think part of it, of course, is that you lean in a little more into Facebook as a paid platform. And that's something I should just get a sign so we can hold it up every week. But talking organic, I think some of the things you can do, first, focus on quality, not quantity. That makes a lot of sense. That's something we might have slid into in the old days of just posting as quick as you can. Make sure your content is valuable and delightful and entertaining and fosters a relationship with your audience. But more than anything, I think what we're seeing for engagement is content that is uplifting is going to get more traction. I mean, you can get a few cheap retweets or reposts by posting something that makes people feel awful or angry. But people are so starving now for happy, uplifting things that help them get further on their journey to self-fulfillment. That is the kind of post that does well, and that was borne out in their research. So be happy, be useful.
Yes, be happy, be useful, and for the love of all that is holy in marketing, please optimize for mobile. 95% of users are on mobile.
That's pretty much most of them.
That's almost everybody. There's some holdouts that are
that is more than half.
Desktop for life, So that means, don't be mad, but vertical video is sort of a thing. I know, it hurts your feelings.
But our eyeballs are horizontal.
Not if you go like this.
I guess.
Of course, keeping things short, shorter captions, 2-minute max for video, and just making sure that things are easy to engage with for folks who are just kind of casually perusing.
I would also add, this wasn't in their report, but again, to say most people on mobile are going to be browsing with the sound off, listening to music, doing something else. So if your video can be understood without sound, whether it's through captions or just through interpretive dance, then I think so much the better.
All right. Well, that's all the news we have for you this week. We'll be back next week with more digital marketing news. If you need more in the meantime, you can follow me on Twitter at Tiffany_Allen or TopRank at TopRank.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter at Nitewrites, that's Nitewrites. And if you love our videos or you hate them but you can't stop watching them, please hit the subscribe button and don't forget to ding that bell to make sure you get a notification whenever we do cool stuff, which is fairly frequently.
All right. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Bye.